Video opens with a fast-paced montage. We see the Union Jack and the Iranian flag waving, followed by quick cuts of British soldiers in formation, Royal Navy ships, and then bustling streets of London and Tehran. Bold text flashes on screen. UK refuses troops to Iran. Why has the United Kingdom, a nation with a long history of global military engagement, publicly and repeatedly refused to commit troops to Iran? The answer isn't about fear or weakness. It's about a fundamental, strategic pivot in how modern global powers engage in conflict. A shift from open warfare to a complex, multi-fronted shadow war. This isn't just a political decision. It's a calculated move rooted in decades of turbulent history and a clear-eyed assessment of 21st century geopolitics. To truly understand this refusal, we must look beyond the headlines and delve into the tangled web of history, diplomacy, and covert operations that define the UK-Iran relationship. The story begins long before today's headlines. Archival footage rolls, black and white clips of British officials in Iran, images of oil fields, and then chaotic scenes from the 1979 Islamic Revolution. For over a century, the relationship between Britain and Iran has been a roller coaster of fragile alliances and bitter betrayals. From early 20th century disputes over oil resources, where British interests heavily influenced Iranian politics, to the pivotal 1953 coup, the seeds of mistrust were sown deep. The 1979 Islamic Revolution marked a definitive break, replacing a pro-Western monarchy with a fiercely independent Islamic republic, fundamentally reshaping the diplomatic landscape and cementing a legacy of mutual suspicion that continues to this day. This history isn't just a backdrop. It's the very foundation upon which current policy is built, a constant reminder of the complexities and potential for unintended consequences. In recent years, the official UK stance has been one of critical engagement, a policy that combines diplomatic dialogue with firm, targeted pressure. Graphics appear on screen, showing a timeline of sanctions imposed by the UK and its allies on Iran's nuclear program and key officials. News clips show the 2019 seizure of a British-flagged tanker by Iran's Revolutionary Guard. These aren't isolated incidents, but part of a consistent strategy. The UK has consistently used economic sanctions as its primary tool of coercion, aiming to cripple Iran's economy and force concessions without firing a single shot. An animated map lights up showing the Middle East, highlighting the strategic choke points like the Strait of Hormuz and the complex web of alliances surrounding Iran. London's strategy is clear: contain Iranian influence and deter aggression through economic and diplomatic means, avoiding the unpredictable and costly quagmire of direct military intervention in a volatile region. So what is the shocking reason behind this refusal to send troops? It's because the war is already being fought, just not on a traditional battlefield. Visuals shift to stylized representations of cyber warfare, lines of code and digital grids. Economic charts show the plunging value of the Iranian rial. Shadowy figures huddle in a dark room, symbolizing covert intelligence operations. The UK has fully embraced a new doctrine of conflict. Instead of deploying soldiers, it deploys financial sanctions that isolate Iran from the global economy. Instead of launching airstrikes, it engages in sophisticated cyber operations to disrupt critical infrastructure and intelligence gathering. It funds and supports media outlets to counter state-sponsored disinformation and shape the narrative both inside and outside Iran. This is the Shadow War, a relentless, low-visibility campaign fought in cyberspace, on the stock markets, and in the quiet backrooms of international diplomacy. The video concludes with a final, powerful split-screen shot. On one side, the Houses of Parliament in London, on the other, Azadi Tower in Tehran. The images are calm, yet the underlying tension is palpable. Ultimately, the UK's refusal to send troops to Iran is not a sign of retreat, but a declaration of a new kind of war. It represents a strategic evolution, a move away from the brute force of the past towards a more subtle, yet arguably more pervasive form of modern conflict. It's a high-stakes gamble that prioritizes economic pressure, information warfare, and covert action over boots on the ground, reflecting a profound shift in the very nature of international power politics. This is the new face of confrontation in the 21st century, where the most decisive battles are fought far from any physical front line.